Okay, parents, this one's for you. Hello and welcome back to Nerdybug's Teacher Corner. This is the corner of the internet where we talk about teaching, life, and mindset. Now, after going through a whole year of online teaching, I was able to observe moments where parents were super helpful and moments where parents were not that helpful. Oops. So if you've enrolled your child in online preschool, then I think this video might be helpful for you. And if you hear these tips and you think there's stuff that you already do, then this is a personal thank you note from me, a teacher, to you, a preschool parent. The first thing that I think you can do to make your child's online preschool experience better is to observe and to feel free to imitate the way your child's teacher teaches. So for example, if the teacher uses the method Jolly Phonics to teach your child to read, then I highly encourage you to use the same method when you're studying with your child. So if you can, reinforce the way your child is learning at school. Now, it doesn't mean that you can add your own little things into your child's learning. It just means that it's much easier for a child to learn if there are two people guiding the child into the same direction rather than if the child is being pulled into different directions, okay? The second thing that you can do is to communicate with your teacher. Now, just because I said that tip in the beginning doesn't exactly mean that I think the teacher is always right. Not at all. In fact, if you think there's a way that the teacher can improve, you can always communicate with the teacher. This year, more than ever, and I would tell my students' parents this last year, is that this year more than ever, teachers and parents are working together for the benefit of the child. Right? So if you have suggestions, if you have questions, if there's something that you want to share, always feel free to communicate with the teacher. I'm pretty sure that most, if not all, teachers will be happy to hear your feedback so that you can come up with a learning plan together as a team. Next thing, please, if you've enrolled a child into online preschool, please be hands-on with classroom management. When we would teach your children in the classroom, we have full control over them. For example, if we're doing circle time and the child stands up and moves away into the playing area, it's much easier for us to stand up and bring them back into the circle. But when you're doing classes online, that is completely impossible. We teachers really appreciate parents who either sit beside their child during online class or at least linger around so that if the teacher needs help, the parent is there to lend a helping hand. Next tip, please create and stick to a structure or a schedule with your child. Now, this is something I noticed last year made a big difference. There were some students who would come to class and they were always sitting in the same spot. Whereas there were some students where every day when they would come to their online class, they were in a different part of their house or they were even in places outside of their house. Now, I know that going to school online gives you more flexibility, but for children and honestly even for adults, I think that it's really helpful when we have a certain working place. It helps the child to associate that when they're staying in that spot, it's time to go to class, it's time to listen to teacher, it's time to be with classmates. Whereas if, for example, I've had times where the student would come to class and they were in a car or they were in a restaurant, that child is not going to get the full experience because that child can't focus the same way that he could if he were in his working area. Now, it doesn't have to be a fancy area at all. It can literally just be a corner of their room. All that matters is that you set it up for them so that it's conducive, so that there aren't that many distractions, and that you stay consistent with using that spot. Okay, next, and I think this one is a really good one. I encourage you parents to be flexible and to be patient, not just with your students, but with yourselves. This year has been crazy for everyone, and nobody is expecting anybody to do a perfect job. So just be patient. If they don't get it perfectly the first time, it's okay. If you don't get it right the first time, if teachers don't get it right the first time, it's okay. We're all trying our best, and I think that treating yourself with patience and kindness is not only good for your mental health, but it actually helps you to be at a better disposition in dealing with your child's learning. And a better disposition means more fun and means more learning. Okay, the next one. I think this one is really important. Please guide your child, but don't coach them. If your child doesn't know the answer to your teacher's questions, for the most part, it's fine. They're in preschool. There's no pressure to know the answers. It's honestly in your best interest for you not to tell them the answer. That way, the teacher is aware that your child doesn't know and can actually help them further. Okay, next one. As much as possible, if when you reinforce learning at home, turn everything into a game. Just because the student is studying for something doesn't mean they need to know that they're studying for something. If you turn it into a game, it makes it more fun for them, more engaging for them, which in turn will make the experience lighter and easier for you, and it will also make it more entertaining for your child. Next, Display their work. Make your child feel that their work is valuable and noticed by displaying their work in different parts of your house. When we're doing classes in person, most classrooms actually have an area where we display the students' art. And kids are always proud to see their work being displayed. So I'm sure that even if you're doing it at home, it will have the same effect on them. Embrace and value the growth mindset. Now, this tip goes way beyond just online schooling. This is something that I personally have to remind myself of always. Show the child that you value the effort just as much as you value the outcome. When your child makes a mistake, encourage them to try again. And most importantly, we, parents and teachers, have to show them that we're proud of them every single step of the way. It may be something that they don't understand right now, but I think that it is something that they have to start seeing and experiencing from a young age. Now, lastly, this is not a tip, but I personally want to express my gratitude to all the parents out there who have helped us teachers through online learning. Last year, I was able to see absolutely how amazing parents are and how helpful and cooperative you are during this weird time of learning. So please be assured that we teachers see your effort and we know that you are doing absolutely everything you can to make your child's experience the absolute best. Alright, I think that's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and please subscribe to the channel. See you next week. Bye!